It feels so good. Gotta want it now. Alright, I'm gonna be doing a half-hour script again today, and I want to focus on like character and world building in a fantasy sort of sense. I've been thinking a lot about like the Attack on Titan pilot, and even though it was a manga before and it's an anime, so it was based off of something else, still I think the pilot for Attack on Titan is one of the best half-hour animated pilots that I've ever seen, because you get a really good sense of who the three main people are. It launches you into the story so well, and even though Avatar kind of does the same, The Last Airbender, the first two episodes are kind of the pilot, because the second episode really launches them into the story. But the first episode of Attack on Titan really sets the tone, and it sets what the whole series is going to be about, which is just Eren against the Titans. Start. Various seabirds are elegant, but nothing is as elegant as a gliding pelican. Nothing like starting your day to good old Paramore. Alright, just again, some notes I made for myself. Obviously the rule is the subject of the pilot script will be based off a randomly generated sentence, which I just did, and it's going to be completed today. Just some notes to remember. Mention the characters' names, otherwise how will the audience know who they are? Plant seeds to use bees later in the season. Keep writing to a minimum, so don't use up too much spaces in my action description. Every single character should have a purpose. They should be going in there wanting something. And then just add more heart. I feel like I've been more focused on just like getting it done, but just add more heart, you know, add more oomph, more feeling to the scenes. And then the rest is just, the schedule never works out, and then the structure isn't really used for a half hour, and I'll be focusing mainly on this. I'll go over that later. Alright, so I'm just going to try to flesh out some problems, and then we'll talk about it later.
Idea time. Sponsored by How the F Am I Supposed to Read This Fun Incorporated. Oh.
Yeah. Alright, so I actually usually don't do this, but I fleshed out an idea and I didn't like how it was turning out. This is the first idea that was about a world where, or it's about this community of people who lived on cliffs, and then they would watch like these pelicans fly by and these seabirds, but the pelicans are like massive. It's like a fantasy world. The pelicans are huge and they're like actual threat. And then it would be about like some disease coming and destroying the food source, so that the pelicans would now start trying to eat the humans, and it'd be kind of like a pelicans versus humans kind of thing. But then I didn't really like that idea, so I switched. It was actually wasted a lot of time because I spent time thinking about this, but I actually like the gliding pelican being like a exclusive club or like a group, and then it's mainly for helping like kids in need, and then it focuses on a group of orphans, much like all altruists who are like vagrants. They steal stuff.
Outline time. Sponsored by How the F Am I Supposed to Read This Font Incorporated. Oh.
So that's probably what I'm gonna go with, actually, because I like that idea a lot more.
Lunchtime. Sponsored by How the F Am I Supposed to Read This Font Incorporated. Oh.
I took a rather long lunch, but I'm gonna get back into it. Alright, done with Act 1. I thought I was gonna be done at 4, but it's 5. So I need like an Oreo or something. Need an Oreo, but also I'm too fat. Boom. Boom. Alright, done. Actually, that was pretty good. I kind of like smashed that last part. Oh, stop. Alright, 7 hours, 45 minutes. That was a lot shorter than my other half hour. I think my half hour took 10 hours. But I ended up really not going by the index cards, which, like I said before in one of the previous ones, sometimes it's better to not go by the index cards. The index cards are just there to organize your thoughts, and once you're writing, it's very easy to deviate, and you should deviate, because the writing should flow within itself, and sometimes the writing just doesn't flow along with the outline. So I'm gonna take a break now. I'm gonna read it later. Well, not later in the video, but just later in the day, so it's gonna be darker when I read it. But yeah, it's 5:54 right now. Finished before 6. That's pretty good. 32 pages. I'll probably read it around 10.
Dinner time. Sponsored by How the F Am I Supposed to Read This Font Incorporated. Oh.
Alright, so let's do it. I haven't made any changes since I stopped the clock. I just didn't want to read until now. But okay.
Feel free to read the script on your own. The PDF link is down below. Skip to that time on the screen to hear my final remarks. Sponsored by How the F Am I Supposed to Read This Font Incorporated. Oh.
Alright, over black. Bird, voiceover. Everyone has a differing idea of right and wrong. I feel like someone's ethical nature depends on the conditions of their upbringing. Interior tavern night. A rather run-down, low-class bar. Although bustling and very busy, we come to a man sleeping alone at the bar. Most people believe that they are doing the right thing, at least the right thing for themselves. A female bartender taps the counter. Dodge? Dodge, wake up. Dodge, a skinny, dirty young man, early 20s, jolts awake. What? You need to go home. What for? Who are you to tell me I've got to go home? Because you told me you'd be here be in here for less than an hour and it's already been 3. Where is Art? Is somebody looking after him? He's outside. You've left him outside for 3 hours? He's a big boy, he can take care of himself. Besides, nothing bad can happen to him. You can't be doing this, Dodge. You're acting like I'm his father. You're his only family and he is your only family. Imagine getting lectured by a bartender. Imagine leaving your brother alone outside of a bar. What's wrong with having a little drink? Oh, to Oliver Twist. Mr. Percy Snodgrass would often have the odd glass. Just go home. Dodge stands up. Aye, aye, General. Captain. Aye, aye, Captain General. Dodge stumbles out and turns back one last time in the doorway. We must find the cause of his shiny red nose. The bartender watches him leave. If people see someone else with an idea of ethics that differs from theirs, they feel sorry. They think less of them. Exterior tavern continuous. Dodge stumbles down and looks around the steps of the tavern. No Art. Oh, no one. Art! Art! Don't tell me you've run off. He walks into the street and stares up and down it. Far down, he sees a young boy standing next to a carriage. Bert, they think they need to be saved. Art! He runs toward them. The boy hears him and faces him. Art, get away from there! Art turns back away from Dodge and steps in the carriage. A man in a blue coat steps out. Who the hell are you? Give him back. Stop. Art, come here. Help. My brother's being kidnapped. Stop. Your younger brother's not being kidnapped. He is being taken away from you. What? Who are you? Who do you think you are? We are with an organization that helps children who are in Art's situation. And what situation is that? A situation that is unfit for a child. He's my little brother. You can't take him away. He was left outside a tavern for 3 hours. He didn't say it was the first time. He is coming with us on his own accord. I don't believe you. Art! Dodge tries to get on the carriage, but the man stops him. Go on. I'll handle this. The horses neigh as the reins are pulled. The carriages move on. Art, bring him back. We will give him a better life. Who are you to know what better is? Anything is better than this. Dodge still clear gun seethes. I don't really know what that means. He seethes. But the cloakman turns away and starts walking away. I hope you find solace in the fact that your brother will be better off with us. He stares, then he lunges at the man. Title card. I decided not to label the teaser an X, but this would be the end of the teaser. So, the opening scene, we have a voiceover from Bert, who we don't know yet, talking about people's perception of ethics and what's good and wrong, and if people have different ethics, then they try to fix you, right? Alright, exterior town center day. A busy roundabout in the center, a stone wishing fountain, coins cover the bottom. Cafes and restaurants with outside dining surround it. Young boy Bert, 16, nonchalantly walks to the fountain, paying no attention to the carriages that swerve around him. On the roundabout, he oozes confidence. A woman holding the hand of her daughter sprints across the roundabout to get to the fountain. The woman and her daughter are dressed in clean white dresses, contrasted by Bert's brown, dirty blazer and slacks. We have to wish, okay? We have to pray and wish for him to get better. The woman pulls a gold coin from her purse. Here, hold this with me. She holds the coin with her daughter. Please, get better. We are asking everything. We've tried everything. Okay, now blow on it. The daughter blows on it, then the woman tosses it into the fountain. As soon as the coin hits the water, Bert takes off his blazer and his shirt. With his pants and shoes still on, he wades into the water. The woman and daughter stare horrified. Bert submerges himself into the fountain and picks up the coin that he just threw away. Another boy, Paul, 16, runs across the street to him. Stop! They all turn toward him. What are you doing in the fountain, kid? If you pull out a coin, the wish won't come true. Please, we need this. Please put the coin back. What are you doing, man? Just leave the lady's coin alone. It's just a coin. If people are going to throw their money away, I'm going to take it. You're a part of those boys that everyone's been talking about. Those thieves. Am I, lady, or am I just hungry? Just put it back, man. Steal from someone else and somewhere else. Don't tell me what to do if you don't know me, man. Paul turns to the woman. I'm so sorry about this. Bert waits through the fountain toward them. You have more money in that purse? The woman clutches the purse and starts to back away. She looks back at the busy roundabout. Carriages rush by. No easy way out. Because I really need the money. Bert jumps out of the fountain and reaches for the lady's purse. Paul shoves him back. He falls in the back with a splash. Get out of here. What the heck, man? You're crazy. Paul jumps into the fountain, coming for Bert. Bert gets up and bolts out, grabbing his blazer and shirt. He runs away through the roundabout, dodging carriages, his pants soaking wet. Paul turns back to the woman and steps out of the fountain. Thank you. I'm sorry. You didn't have to do that. Your shoes. It's fine. They'll dry. You should be careful about your coins, though. Do you keep all your coins in your purse? Yes, I do. You shouldn't. Keep a couple in there. Keep a couple in there. The rest you should keep in a handkerchief in your pocket or something. Thieves like that won't check anywhere other than the purse. Here, do you have a handkerchief? She nods and pulls out a pink handkerchief. Paul hesitates. Do you have a white one? No. Does it matter? No. Here. Takes a handkerchief. How many coins do you have in your purse? I usually carry around 20 silver pieces at least. Alright, well, 15 should go into the handkerchief, I think. The woman fishes out 15 pieces and pours it into the handkerchief in Paul's hands. Paul wraps it up. Alright, now all you need to do is put it in a pocket like this. Paul puts the pink handkerchief in his jacket pocket, and no one will ever check there. So even if you do get robbed, you'll hardly lose anything. Oh, thank you. That was very helpful. A B. I'll store them in my chest. May I have them back? Paul hesitates once more. Then he pulls out a white handkerchief. He hands it to her. This isn't mine. I know. Who carries around a pink handkerchief? Then he takes off in the opposite direction. Narrowly avoiding the carriage, he slips through the roundabout and sprints the same way Bert did. Wait! She looks down at the white handkerchief. She opens it to find it's filled with rocks. So Paul and Bert just conned this woman, and I want it to be like the opening scene of The Sting. And this script kind of has influences from The Sting, the movie, and from Oliver Twist. So in the teaser, he referenced Oliver Twist, the Papa song, when he's in the bar. And then I'm referencing The Sting right now because it's basically just a reinvented con that they do in the opening of The Sting, where with, yeah. Alright, cut to interior basement hideout day. Paul and Bert walk down concrete steps. They reach a wooden door. You barely got out? Who carries a pink handkerchief? Pink? Are you kidding? Are you kidding me? You still got out of there. That's a win for me. It was a good plan. Just didn't account for that. Bert smiles. They're up on the door. Raspy voice comes from within. Why should we all break our backs? Why should we all break our backs? You've got to pick a bucket or two. That's another Oliver Twist reference from one of those songs. Door opens. A man whose face is hidden underneath a blue hood. A man whose face is hidden underneath a blue hood ushers them in. What did you find for me today, boys? The basement looks like it smells of must and mold. Cuss line the walls, wire drips from the ceiling. Younger boys younger than Paul and Bert jump and crowd around them. Paul drops the pink handkerchief on the table, opens, and the coins spill out. The man spreads the coin around, counting. He takes off the hood. An older Dodge holds up the silver. My, 15 silver pieces? Should be. Very good, but what else should I expect from my two best? Dodge, don't get soft on us now. Yeah, your two best almost fell miserably. Bart starts taking off his pants. He hangs them on a line running across the ceiling. Get a little wet? Had to. In the fountain? Yep, that's so open. Small cons aren't working so well anymore, Dodge. People are getting smarter. They talk about us. Warn others. Large stunts have to be pulled. Yeah, it's going to be hard for the little ones. Bert pulls in one of the younger boys and ruffles his hair. The boy giggles. I've got ideas in mind for the young ones. I'll try to start thinking of more elaborate ideas. Until then, do you have that covered? I've got endless ideas. That's my boy. You two take a rest. I'm sending out the little ones now. Bert takes off his shoes and goes over to the ground level window. He opens the window and shoves his shoes out. Alba, you'll be leading this one. A boy with spiky hair, Alba, gets up from his cot. Christian, Jeremy, Selena. Chris and Jeremy both 10 to 11 and Selena 12 step forward. You three will listen to Alba. No questions asked. You'll be going to the new hotel, the one by the church. New people are coming in and out and all the time. New people are coming in and out all the time. There's no way they'd have information about us yet. Families are there. Act as if you've lost your parents. Cry, sniffle, be hungry. You got that? They all nod. But at the slightest chance of danger, you get out of there. If one of you's about to get caught, the others drop everything to help. You are all going to come back. It doesn't matter if you come back empty-handed as long as it's all four of you. Alba nods. All right, then get on your way. Be crafty, be smart. They head for the door. Cut 2. Okay, so this scene does multiple things. So Dodge is the Fagin character in Oliver Twist, right? He's like the one who corrals all the boys. We established that Bert is pretty much the mastermind. He's the one who set up the con they did on that woman, having not accounted that she would have a pink handkerchief. Dodge, they're friendly. They don't fear Dodge, even though he's older, and so is the leader. Alright, Alba, exterior hotel day. Alba, Christian, Jeremy, and Selena watch the hotel from an alleyway. Dodge is right, it's very busy with families and couples streaming in and out. Alright, we aren't walking in all at once. I'll walk up with Christian, I'll go into the hotel and you wait outside. Christian and I don't know each other. Jeremy and Selena are siblings who lost their parents. I'll go to the counter and try to steal a spare key. Christian, you'll pickpocket from outside. The bustle should give you plenty of cover. Jeremy and Selena will go in and ask the person at the front desk about their parents. That'll be my chance to steal a key. They'll not. What if we get caught? We won't. But what if we do? Like Dodge said, we drop everything and help each other. We can make enough commotion, the four of us, so that they should at least be confused. What if something happens to Christian outside and we can't see them? Enough with all these questions. I can't think of everything. Once I have the key, and I'll sneak into whatever room it is and take whatever's there. Then we are out. Christian doesn't even need to risk pickpocketing out there. If you want, you can be our lookout. I'll pickpocket. Alright then, I'm up first. He emerges from the hallway across the street. Cut to interior hotel lobby day. Alba is hardly noticeable among the families and people carrying their bags and moving around the lobby. Alba finds a seat in the corner, then enters Jeremy and Selena. Alba gets up and moves toward the opening to get behind the counter. Jeremy and Selena walk up. Can you cry? I don't know. It would be best if you could cry. Why can't you cry? I'm a guy. You're supposed to cry. I'm supposed to cry? She stops on his foot. They get to the counter. Jeremy in tears. The clerk looks over the counter at them. How may I help you two? Alba slips behind the counter, keeping low. From what he can see, the clerk is the only one back there. He spots the spare keys behind the counter, exactly where the clerk stands. We've lost our parents. My brother needs them. He glares. Jeremy glares at her through his tears. Please, can you help us find them? Haven't they checked in yet? Have they checked in yet? I'm not sure. Alba creeps closer. Let me look them up. The clerk opens a ledger. What is your last name? They look at each other. Alba's almost there. Johnson. Carlton. Excuse me? Alba freezes, his hand outstretched for a key. Who are you? Realization dawns in his eyes. You're part of the bunch of thieves ruining this town, aren't you? We don't get out of here. We don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, we just got here. The clerk starts to move. Wait, there they are. Jeremy points out the window to a couple near a carriage. Oh, they must have been still at the carriage. We thought they'd already come in. Thank you, mister. Jeremy and Celine turn away from the counter and walk towards the door. The clerk Hussey looks down to nothing, a key missing from beneath the shelf. Alright, so successful con. In a cut to the second floor, Alba walks along confidently. The key has a small tag attached to it, room 34. He passes the number of doors and reaches 34. He knocks, listens, nothing. He puts the key in. A door directly adjacent to him opens. Alba jumps and shoves the key into his pocket. A couple emerges from the room, not looking twice at Alba, walks on. He sighs and tries the key again. The lock clicks and he opens the room's empty. Great, there's nothing here. Cut to exterior. Christian prowls the newcomers. He stakes out his targets. A large extravagant carriage suddenly pulls up. He watches as three men wearing blue cloaks step out. The blue cloaks have the same gliding Pelican emblem that Dodge's does. Christian stares. He watches them walk up the steps, and then a hand clamps down on his shoulder. He flinches and turns around. A woman wearing one of the blue cloaks smiles down at him. Wait, did I say that it was a gliding pelican in the first part? The blue cloaks have the same gliding Pelican emblem that Dodges does. Christian stares. He watches them walk up the steps, and then a hand clamps down on his shoulder. He flinches and turns around. A woman wearing one of the blue cloaks smiles down at him. Interior second floor day. Alba shoves the key into his pocket and closes the door. He descends the stairs. Interior hotel lobby. Three pelicans stand at the corner. Alba scans the lobby for Jeremy and Selena. You are in luck. There is one room left. Here you are, room 34. Why are you in those matching cloaks? Are you performers or something? No, we are part of a group called the Pelicans. We help children who are growing up in troubling circumstances. We've heard that this town has an unusually high amount of child pickpockets. We do. I swear two of them just tried to come in here and con me, but nothing gets past me. Sorry for the old men and women who get their wallets and jewelry stolen. What do you do with the kids when you find them? Lock them up? Put them in work? We give them a better life, sir. Alba stops listening. Upon not finding Jeremy and Selena, he walks out. Exterior hotel. Jeremy and Selena stand at the top of the stairs. Alba nearly walks into them. What are you doing? Let's go. The room was empty. Also, did you see those people in the blue cloaks? I think they're trouble. We need to go tell Dodge. He finally sees what they're staring at. The Pelican woman is kneeling down, talking to Christian. Step out of it. Don't just watch. We need to get him out of here. What do we do? Who are they? There were more inside. I know, that's what I just said. Let's go. He descends steps towards Christian. Jeremy and Selena follow. Christian, Mom and Dad are waiting. They got a room. Let's go. Christian turns back to them. The woman smiles at the rest of them. Oh, you're all together? Yeah, we are siblings. Come on, Christian. Christian looks down at his feet. Interestingly, because Christian just told me he didn't have any parents. And neither did you. And neither do you all. Alba, Jeremy, Selena. The kids stare. Christian, you idiot. He grabs his wrist and tugs. Let's get out of here. She said she could take us somewhere. Where? Somewhere else. A better place. I can help you all. She's lying. Let's go. One of the men pops his head out of the hotel tower and calls down. Hey, we got a room. Let's go. He yanks Christian's arm and takes off. The three follow. The Pelican woman makes no attempt to grab them or chase them. She just watches them go. Cut to. Throughout the pilot, I wanted the perception of who the Pelicans are to be a mystery. And you want to believe that they're good people who are saving kids, but you encountered them in such bad spots, like Dodge having his brother taken away, and then this, because obviously the boys don't trust them, but there are some boys who, or some kids who are interested in what they have to say, and the people haven't shown any, meanness, or they haven't shown any, there's no real danger to them yet, right? They're nice. Alright, so then we cut back to the basement had a cape exactly like mine. Alba nods. The kids are crowded on the floor as Alba finishes his story. Pollen bursting in the back. That isn't good. Who are the Pelicans? They're bad news. No one is to go near them. We should lay off the streets for a couple days. Stay in here. What about food? The young ones bring in all the food. We have money. I'll just buy groceries. Buy groceries? They must really be bad then. The kids laugh, all but Christian. They said they could help us. That's what they say, Christian. They will promise you a better life, as if they know what a better life for you is. You think they are saviors of this world, but do we need to be saved? No, that's right, Bert, we don't. I've saved you already, haven't I? Christian, where were you when I found you? In an alley. Yes, eating scraps in an alley, and now look, you have a bed and shelter and a job to keep your mind sharp. Lady said we wouldn't have to live in a basement. You told her we live in a basement? She was so nice. Damn it, Christian! These are not good people. You are all to stay in here until they are gone. Is anyone not here? Charlie is out getting food, I think. Bert nods. We have to go get him. They'll be probably gonna say like, well, it's Paul and Bert, you come with me, the rest of you stay here. Cut to Bakery Day. A small bakery squeezed in between two city buildings. People bustle past, horse-drawn carriages rattle across a cobbled street. A young boy Charlie paces back and forth outside the display windows. He notes each person who enters. From across the street, a Pelican watches Charlie, his blue cloak draped over his shoulders, his hood up. A carriage stops in front of the bakery. A well-dressed gentleman steps out and into the bakery. Charlie follows him. The cloaked man crosses the street towards the bakery. Interior bakery continuous. Charlie stands close behind the gentleman as if he was the man's son. The man wanders about, looking at the rare pastries. He picks up a loaf of bread, as does Charlie. The baker eyes them, but doesn't say anything. The man moves to the counter. Unbeknownst to him, Charlie still stands behind him, following like a shadow. 3 silver spleets. The man reaches his pocket, then stops. 3 silver for a loaf of bread? 2 loaves. 2 loaves? I'm sorry, but I only hold one in my hand. Your son has one as well. My son? The man turns just as the front door bursts open, Charlie bolting down the street. Straight bakery. He looks back. Charlie looks back. He smiles as the baker and gentleman watch him run, and wham! He gets a face full of blue. He looks up into a face hidden under the hood. The baker catches up to them. You caught the thief! The baker reaches for Charlie, but stopped by the Pelican. Let go of me. This is my business. The Pelican produces 2 silver pieces and hands them over to the baker. What, are you this boy's real father? No answer. The baker looks between the two, then huffs, grabs the coins, and stops back into the bakery. The Pelican extends a hand, offering Charlie a ticket. Charlie considers. Then Dodge Paul and Bert around the corner. Dodge grabs Paul and Bert and pulls them into the side. They watch as Charlie takes his hand. Together they walk off to the hotel. Damn it, let's go after them. We can get him back. It's just one guy. There's more of them. You're just gonna let him take Charlie? He slumps to the ground feet. It's just like Art. Who's Art? My brother. They took him from me a long time ago. Why do you have a cloak like theirs? I stole it. When they took my brother away, one of them stayed behind. I beat him and took everything from him. He looks astonished. Paul looks astonished. Bert leans down. I'm sorry for your brother, but we aren't helpless. We can get Charlie back. Maybe. We need to make a plan first. Are they really that bad? They'll take you all from me. Do you know what happens to kids they take? No, but I can't imagine what they say. They'll probably sell them. You don't know that. Whatever it is, they take kids without regard for anyone else. Cut back to interior basement hideout. Did you hear anything else about the Pelicans? He and Alba sit on a cot. Paul and Bert stand next to him. They just said that they heard there were a lot of kids who were doing what we are doing in this town. Someone must have called them. I don't know. They're staying in the hotel. Yeah, 4 of them. That's probably where they're keeping Charlie. They got Charlie? They nod. Did you overhear anything? What room they're in? Did you see them go into the room? Alba smiles. He pulls a key from a pocket. It just so happens that I do. Cut to exterior hotel. Paul and Bert stand in the same alleyway across from the hotel, in and out. Get Charlie and leave, and anything else we can carry. I smile at each other. Does it seem weird to you? What? They didn't force Christian to go with them. They didn't kidnap him. They let all 4 of them go. It was probably just to give us this false sense of security. Also, kidnapping 4 children isn't easy. Alba said they were only facing one of them. But there are only 4 in total. They know that there are a lot of us. Why are there only 4? They can't kidnap us all. I don't know, Paul. Dodge doesn't trust them, and that's good enough for me. Let's go. They take off. Alright, so we are now seeing, we had hints of it before, but we're now finally, like, concretely seeing that Paul isn't as against these people as Bert is. Bert is totally on the side of Dodge. He likes his life. He likes coming up with schemes. But Paul is hesitating. Alright, cut to hotel lobby. The lobby is completely empty, not even anyone at the desk. Surprised, they still carefully walk up. The second floor, once the doors open, we don't have a lot of time. Hopefully they're all asleep. Hopefully. They reach him for the third. Bert slowly inserts the key. He turns it, cracks the door. He looks at Paul. Paul nods. Bert opens the door and Paul slips in. Hey, Paul. Bert frowns and peeks in. Charlie sits there alone. None of the Pelicans are there. Who are they? They left. Oh, where are they? They left. Why? They knew you were coming. What? How? A lucky guess. Well, let's go. Why didn't you run then? I didn't want to. What? The life they described to me. We get to help other kids like us. They help us. Then we help others. That's not the truth, Charlie. You can't be this gullible. Look at the world we live in. Nothing is that good. The life that Dutch has given us, that is as good as it's going to get. And it's pretty good. I don't know, Bert. I don't live like this. I don't like this. Stealing from people living in a basement? Why would you want that? What happens when you're Dodge's age? Then I'll help kids. Dodge helped us. We help others. That isn't help. How would you know? You're 9 years old. I'm not going back. Bert, Charlie. Bert, you can't make him leave. We can't. Come on, he grabs Charlie, but Paul intercepts. Bert, calm down. If Charlie wants to go, then that is his choice. Fine, ruin your life, Charlie. See if I care. They can help you too. I don't need help. Charlie, where did the Pelicans go? The basement. You told them where we are? They can help everyone else. Selena, Jeremy. Shut up, Paul. We have to go back. Let's go. They sprint out of the room. They fly down the stairs and into the lobby. The Pelican woman sits in the lobby, previously not there. They stop dead in their tracks. She smiles. I see Charlie didn't follow you out. Bert goes to save the link, but Paul stops him. Let's go. Have a good night, boys. And then cut to the basement. Hand up, Bert pounds on the door. Why should we yell, break our backs? Dodge, let us in. We don't have time. Dodge opens the door and Bert storms in. They're coming here. Charlie told them we are where we are. Get all the kids out. Damn, alright. Everyone up. The kids slowly raise from the cot. Bert goes around shaking the cots. Up, up. The girl likes it up. Through the windows. They'll probably have seen that you come through the door. Bert flings the window open and starts helping the kids out. They filter out. Finally, Paul crawls out, then Bert, then Dodge. The group of kids stand in the street. The only light comes from the shining moon. 3 figures step out from the shadows. 3 blue cloaks. Everyone run! Wait! Hear us out. How'd you know where we were? The Pelican points to Bert's shoes resting outside the window. Damn. Let's just talk to you all. Don't listen to them, kids. They are liars. We aren't, Dodge. How do you know my name? You all take whatever you want. The Pelican raises his head. He steps into the light. Dodge stares, taken aback. Art. Smashed a block. Honestly, I probably could have made it longer. Like 30 pages reading it seems pretty short. But okay. I feel like more should have happened, but I don't know. So we get a good idea of who everyone is, right? Paul and Bert are both smart, but Bert is more loyal to their life they live. Paul is kind of iffy on it. He's good at it, but he thinks people should live how they want to live, and I think it shows that he knows that there is a life better than this one. The younger kids are getting wrapped up in the promises that the Pelicans are giving. Dodge still believes that they're bad people, and then we see at the end that Art is a Pelican now and that he is okay, and obviously they aren't selling them, they aren't killing them, they aren't like working them to death. I wanted to end the pilot after this point where they have to make a choice whether to follow Dodge or to follow the Pelicans, and then it would be the break between Bert choosing Dodge and then Paul choosing the Pelicans, because that's what it seems like it's leading up to right now. But that can just be done like episode 2 or something. I don't think it needs to be done in the pilot necessarily, because I think that that decision is implied in where we ended it, or something else can happen, but that's where I wanted to go with it. When I was writing, there was definitely choices that I didn't outline. Like I said before, the outline, I deviated from the outline, but there are things that fell together that just made more sense. Like, I didn't plan for Alba to steal the key. I didn't even know what they were going to do at the hotel. I just wrote that the kids were going to go pickpocket at the hotel. But then when I was writing, I thought, well, maybe he wants to break into the room because that's more dynamic than just walking around trying to like pull wallets from people's pockets. So I was writing that he was going to steal this key, and then I was thinking, well, what if someone's in there? Does he just run? And then if it's an empty room, then what happens? There's nothing really to steal, right? He's not going to steal pillows. So he gets there and it's an empty room, and then he does what? I was trying to think of an organic way how they would know where exactly the Pelicans are staying, because I wanted there to be a conflict where Paul and Bert went to confront the Pelicans somehow, and for Paul to see something that made him like sort of change his mind. And an organic way to do that, or like a fluid way to do that, was Alba having the spare key to an empty room, and that being the only empty room in the hotel. And we learned that when Alba leaves and he's like, oh, you got the last room, and it's room 34. So now Alba has a spare key to the room. Paul and Bert know where they are, and they have an entrance to it. And then there's the confrontation. I previously didn't think about them having Charlie. In the outline, I wanted Dodge to tell them, okay, you have to go to their room and steal everything they have, because without their capes they are nothing. But it just seemed better that Charlie go with them instead, and have that be like a point for Paul to see, like, oh, well, one of the kids is here and he doesn't want to leave, he doesn't want to come back with us. And so there must be some validity to what they're saying. And they left the kid alone. The kid, like Charlie could have left. Like that whole scene, the purpose of that whole scene was to convince Paul that these people might not be so bad, and that Bert is still adamant about, we have to get out of here. Charlie, you're ruining your life if you stay here. So that honestly I think worked out a lot better than what I had originally planned, so I'm happy about that story point. And then one other thing that I didn't plan for was how the Pelicans would find the basement so easily. And so they're given the general directions by Charlie, and then they're told that it was a basement by Christian. So they have two kids who they got information from. But then the shoes that Bert got wet from his heist that started the show, those shoes are what tipped him off. And I don't, now that I think of it, I don't know if in this world that Bert would have two shoes. That doesn't really make sense that he would have two pairs of shoes because he goes out, right? But I think that's a minor slip up, and it can be written over like, oh yeah, he does have two shoes and he has one under his cot or something. But in now that I think of it, that could be something where people are like, what? Why would he have two shoes if they live in a basement and they're like pickpocketing people? That's also something where I wrote that Bert put his shoes out the window just because it seems like something he would do in the moment where he's trying to dry off his clothes. And then coming back to it, like writing at the end, I realized, how would they know exactly where they are? And it's like, oh, Bert's shoes are still outside the window. I never wrote that. He picked them back up. So I think it's really helpful when you're writing to think about what the characters would do naturally and think about who they are, what situation they're in, what would that person do in that situation. Because if I hadn't written that he had hung up his pants and then put his shoes outside the window to dry, then I wouldn't have had that fluid way to get the Pelicans to know where they are. Other than that, yeah, I think my writing could have been cleaned up. I think there was some, maybe some formatting issues, I'm not really sure, but overall, pretty good. Pretty good time, a lot less time than my previous half hour. Cool. Thank you very much for watching.